So a very warm welcome of all the esteemed guests in this webinar of International Institute of Jammu and Kashmir Studies and Analysis. And today the topic what we have taken for this webinar is very pertinent to all of us, and it's about our identity, Dogra identity. We all have been thinking for a while that where this identity has been lost, why government and policymakers are not taking our identity seriously. And to think about it, to analyze about it, this webinar has been taking place today. It's a brainchild of Brigadier Dr. Vijay Sagar Dhiman, and I am Varun Bhansali is a co-convener to it. And esteemed panelists like you take part in these discussions, and we analyze and come to a conclusion which is very pertinent and which is sent to the policymakers, so the voices from Jammu can be heard. So we have all the esteemed panelists, and I will request Brigadier Dr. Vijay Sagar Dhiman to take the analyzation forward. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Varun. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm sure you've done a lot of work behind the scenes, as you always do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, let me welcome you all and thank you all with your presence. And I'm really, really delighted to see too many young boys and girls, which I've been trying since yesterday to get in touch with. Quite a few are here. And probably whatever we're going to discuss today, it is something absolutely near our hearts and something very, very near our intellects, as to see what we Dogras are and what is our role in Jammu and Kashmir, what have we been earlier, what was the state which was formed by Maharaja Gulab Singh, the Dogra region, and what exactly this region is, and many of the facts which we do not know at all. And of course, there are a lot of incongruencies in our behaviors, in our interactions, which probably would come out today with the panelists. And then panelists, after panelists have spoken their mind out, we will, of course, have a discussion. And I'm really delighted to see a lot of intellectual entities of Jammu who are here, who know the subject very well, who are emotionally involved with the particular subject. And I'm sure they want to pour their heart out today, especially during the discussion time. Well, talking about the Dogras, first let's say what is the geography of the region. The so-called Dogra Desh, which probably was started Maharaja Ranjit Dev. I think that is one of the, a bit authentic history when this region came into being. And that started all the way from near Afghanistan, the entire, Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, Rajouri, Kotli, that is south of Pir Panjal, heading into Himachal Pradesh and going right up till Dahan. And Maharaja Ranjit Dev probably was the one who looked after this region so well, because at this time there were a lot of fights going on between Afghans and Mughals and Marathas, and a lot of people were doing a lot of looting, etc. So this main route, which is present-day GT Road, wasn't open, wasn't safe for trading. So the route which is the other side of Shivaliks, that is starting Nahan, Kangra, Dalhousie, maybe west of Bhadrawa, and then going on to Srinagar, was being used. And Raja Ranjit Dev was the one who established a lot of checkposts from these people, as also he promoted the art and culture, Basoli art and culture, Basoli art, Kangra art, and whatever the Desh progress was this. And later on, when Maharaja Gulab Singh came, after a lot of other things that happened within the history, he bought that Kashmir Valley. Now, what is valley? Valley, if you see the geography, it is basically, it used to be a lake. And as the legend has it, that there was a demon over there who was hiding inside the lake, and God came down and to sort of free those people from the demon, God made some kind of a rapture near Uri, so that the water can flow out, and that's how the valley was formed. And that is what, and valley remained bounded by, let's say, Zanskar range, Great Himalayan range, then coming this side is your Pir Panjal, then Shamshabadi, and that is all valley. And the area outside valley, which is Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, Rajouri, Poonch, Jammu, and this side is all Jammu area. So, and that also constituted what was Dogra Desh of Ranjit Dev. And what happened in the later part in 47, by some default, the whole thing was called Valley, Kashmir, and not Jammu at all, no Dogra at all. But then things have come to a stage now where we are asserting ourselves. Jammu has been added, Dogra Desh has been added, and what more you can say, the POJK. I'm expecting some people of POJK also here, and they openly call themselves Dogra Mumtaz Riaz, Dogra Inayat Hassan. That is how the name says. So that means they also revere their Dogra identity. But are we ready to accept them? Are we aware of this? So that is the question we're going to ask. And secondly, whatever the conspiracy, if I may use the word, which happened from the valley with connivance of the leadership from Delhi, did they deliberately try to debilitate the Dogras, to renegade the Dogras, or to put them back? Did it happen or did not happen? Well, just one incident that comes to my mind. The famous personality of Jammu, if you all are aware of, Mr. Kishandar Sethi. God bless his soul, he, I think, expired in the month of January this year. And he wrote a tremendous book. And he was an intellectual of some repute at that particular time. And he narrated us an incident few years back. He says, there is all the leaders like Ghulam Abbas, Allah Rekha Sagar, then even I think your Punchi leader, Sikandar Abraham, I don't know if I'm taking his name correctly, Sardar Abraham. So these people were there in Kathua jail. And as per the account of Mr. K.D. Sethi himself, he says, I went and asked them, he said, you guys are Muslim leaders, and the mood of the nation at this time, what Nehru is doing, he's bringing the Muslim leadership in terms of Sheikh Abdullah. Why don't you come and join Sheikh Abdullah? Why are you still not part of it? So in response, Allah Rakha Sagar told him, उस लंबू से पूछो वो हमें अपने साथ रखने को तैयार है कि नहीं. ये एग्जैक्ट वर्ड्स उन्होंने कोट किए थे. उस लंबू से पूछो कि वो हमें अपने साथ रखने को तैयार है कि नहीं. So as per Mr. Kishandar Sethi, he says, I went back to Sheikh Abdullah and told him that they are asking, are you ready to keep us with you or not? So he says, उन्होंने जब बोला कि इन्होंने मुझे अपना लीडर माना ही कब था. इन एक गाली दी आगे, जो मैं गाली यहाँ नहीं रिपीट करूंगा. इन डैश डैश को पाकिस्तान में जाने दो, मरने दो इनको, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. So that is a clear view that somewhere in the mind of Sheikh Abdullah, at that time there was a fear of Jammu, whether it was the Rajput leadership, Hindu leadership, or Muslim leadership. Sheikh Abdullah was not ready to accept that. So that is how, when the first constituent assembly was formed, all 73 seats went in favor of Sheikh Abdullah. 71 unopposed and 2 were mildly contested. And whatever that thing was a different subject. But that is how they started, imposing their will over the entire region. Next, POJK, because POJK was already, that ceasefire line had come into effect. So this is how probably the politics of Jammu and Kashmir started, with whatever the seeds were sown in the mind of Sheikh Abdullah when he came back from Aligarh Muslim University in 1931. So to take this forward, we have the very eminent panelists, Colonel Satish Malhotra, son of the soil, settled in Pune, and he's got a lot and lots of study and research, and the subject of Dogras, Jammu is very, very close to his heart. We'll listen to him, what are his views about it. Then we also have another very eminent journalist and a researcher, Mr. Harbans Samyal, who's also settled outside Jammu, but very close to Jammu, and has been working on the literature in various capacities for a long, long time. And then we have our eminent expert, constitutional expert, Professor Bhatia, who has done a lot of work on Constitution of India, and half the Jammu judges and lawyers are his students. And then I think, sir, you spent about 5 years in Germany, if I'm not wrong, sir. So, and that's where Mr. Professor Bhatia told me that his journey about Jammu started from Germany. He said the literature that was available in his university in Germany was not available in Jammu. So that is how his interest started into the whole subject, and today I think he's way ahead with us. So these are my final panelists. Then we'll have a discussion, and then in the end we will request the last word from Major General Govardhan Singh Jamwal, who's a veteran, who's an eminent personality and a great thinker, and who has seen, who's probably over here in this panel, who's the only one who's witnessed all the events in 1947 with his own eyes. And he's seen them, he's felt them, and he's understood them more than anybody else.